Well, Trump had a Nazi rally last weekend. I'm sorry. They really don't like it when you call it a Nazi rally. You know, they're very easily offended as a rule. That's my bad. Let me get that right. Trump had a hyper-nationalist rally categorized by overtones of violence and hate-fueled fear-mongering. There we go. My bad. Anyway, the whole thing didn't go over particularly great, especially comedian Tony Hinchcliffe, whose performance really pissed a lot of people off, which is strange considering he employed the typically bulletproof strategy of insulting Puerto Ricans while in New York. In case you don't know, Tony's mostly known for being the host of a popular podcast where he listens to overly confident comedians deliver underwritten shock value jokes for a while, and then he tells them that they suck and should quit forever. It's always nice when the universe plays a Uno reverse card, am I right? A lot of Tony's success is attributed to his relationship with Joe Rogan. So for any fans of chaos theory out there, that means that one night at the Comedy Store 15, 20 years ago, a profoundly stoned Joe Rogan thought to himself, that guy sounds super gay, but he says he's not gay. That's hilarious. And as a direct result of him thinking that, now Puerto Ricans might elect a black woman president. Butterfly wings ain't got shit on that, y'all. Now, but the Trump campaign's already trying to distance themselves from Hinchcliffe. Dude, you know how bad you have to bomb for them to even kind of apologize for you? Like, dude, them apologizing, that's like Boeing taking the battery cables off of a whistleblower's nipples. Like, they just don't do that sort of thing. But they are here. They said, we do not approve of his material. The campaign simply does not have time to vet every speaker we put on that stage. I love that a presidential campaign's actual defense of themselves is like, look, we didn't plan this, guys. We're just stupid and incompetent. Give us a break here. Right, but it's clearly a lie, because I mean there was a teleprompter. There's been reports of other jokes being cut from the act. Like, they knew what he was going to say on account of he said exactly the types of things that they hired him to say. All right, this is what happens when half of your campaign staff is made up of white dudes who grew up saying the N-word on 4chan. Okay, they got what they wanted. Even if they somehow didn't know what he was going to say, like, what else did they think he was going to do? Give a reasoned take on the situation in Gaza through a humanitarian lens? He's an edgelord insult comic. This would be like if they said, listen, when we hired Hulk Hogan, we didn't know he was going to rip his shirt open. What? Like, no, they got what they wanted, because it wasn't just Hinchcliffe. The whole night was wall-to-wall bat shittery, capped off by the bat shitter-in-chief, Donald Trump, who solidified his place atop the list of history's dumbest demagogues with another patented stream of nigh incoherent, rambling, malicious lunacy. Like, the whole night could not have possibly been any more on brand for them, and they don't get to pretend otherwise just because they apparently didn't know that Puerto Ricans are allowed to vote. Okay, and vote they should. All right, this should have an electoral impact. This rally should matter, because it was both a crystal clear snapshot of the world these people already live in and a harrowing glimpse at the future they have in store for the rest of us if we don't show up and show out between now and next Tuesday. Okay? All right, listen, YouTube, I got some more for you in a second, but it is truly wild how much of an impact this could perhaps have on this election, and it's also wild how differently people view this event and this rally, and most of that comes down to where those people get their news from, right? Let me show you what I mean. All right, y'all, we're here on Ground News' website looking at stories related to the big rally. What else? Trump's New York rally attacks Harris, draws criticism. You can see over here the coverage breakdown, 120 sources, more from the left than the right, and not surprising given the outcome there. And you've noticed here, before you even click on an article, you can see how the bias of the media outlet comes through in the headlines themselves. So if you sort by left-leaning outlets, you see here, they make no bones about it. They call the rally disturbing, quote, a carnival of racism. Pretty evocative, you must admit. It's like, yeah, imagine if instead of being fun for the whole family, carnivals made your soul hurt. That's kind of what the rally was like, according to left-leaning outlets. But if you look at right-leaning outlets, very, very different story. You see here, Harris broke it and Trump will fix it. The message behind his electric MSG rally. That's right. You say disturbing, we say electric and on point. That's right. One man's Nazi rally is another man's Nazi rally. It's just that the second man, he likes Nazi rallies. That's what makes it different. This is just some of the added insight you get from Ground News. Ground News is a startup and service that aims to combat bias in the media by adding context and transparency to all the news that you consume. You can follow along at ground.news/Trey, or you can scan that QR code on the screen right there. But you can see before you ever even click an article, you just get extra layers of context, like the factuality rating and the bias of the outlet. But that's not all. They got other great features on Ground News, like the blind spot feature. This feature highlights stories that are not being covered on either side of the political spectrum right now, which can allow you to step outside of your own bubble for a little bit, which I think is something we could all benefit from in these times. So if that sounds good to you, click the link in the description below or scan that QR code to try Ground News today. You can try it for free, or you can get their newly increased discount of 50% off the Unlimited Access Vantage tier. That's the best deal of the year, and it's only available for a limited time, and that time is now. The election's just around the corner, y'all. It's time to push back against the bias and BS in the media. Try Ground News today. All right, YouTube, man, we're back, dude. The double standard has never been more apparent. I know we all are aware of it, but it's truly insane. Can you even imagine any remotely equivalent liberal version of this type of rally? I don't even know what it would be. Like Kathy Griffin going up there and doing jokes about how North Carolina is just a bunch of inbred sheep fuckers or something, or like Lin-Manuel Miranda producing an entire like Broadway show tune, song and dance number about how nobody in Georgia can read good. You know, like it would just, I'm just saying, but imagine something like that did happen, what the backlash would be, and rightfully so. It's just insane. These people, they're generally Teflon. I'm glad to see some pushback finally, because it's not just the parties, obviously the candidates. Contrast is stark. One candidate's out here having to answer for like actual policy decisions and legislative choices she made over the years, and decisions made by administrations that she wasn't even fully in charge of, and having to answer for everything she's ever said and everything she's ever done or not done. And then the other candidate, they're just like, well, I mean, he's not like completely a Nazi, you know, it's not that bad. Like, that's genuinely what the level of discourse is. It blows my mind. It also blows my mind, and will never stop blowing my mind, that the margins are apparently still razor thin. Razor thin enough that this rally might actually make a difference, but that's crazy to me too. Like, you're telling me that there are Latinos out there right now after this rally who are like, wait a minute, Donald Trump and his MAGA cult don't like us? They think we're gross? I didn't know that. Like, how's that possible that anybody didn't already know that? I don't understand how that could happen, but either way, if they can come around now, better late than never. I don't give a damn, because it's a lesson that needs to be learned. I think a lot of times those people that are from other groups, other types of people who happen to be conservative, talk themselves into it by the same way that you talk yourself into like enjoying a very aggressive rap song. You're like, well, I mean, he's not talking about me. He's not calling me a bitch. He's not going to rob me, right? It's just a banger. That's what they think when they hear these people going on about immigrants and stuff. They're like, no, well, he don't mean me. It's like, no, yeah, he does. Yes, they all do. I promise you they do. They don't care how long you've been here, where your people are from, what your citizenship status is, how hard you work, what your job. They don't give a damn about none of that. If you are anything other than a straight, white, male, Christian nationalist with money, or to a much lesser extent, his doormat of a wife, if you're anything other than those two things, then they mean you. They totally mean you, and they will have you up against the wall eventually too. All right, your time will come, just some quicker than others. And hopefully maybe this weekend did something to eliminate that for people. And might just be wishful thinking, but I guess we'll all find out soon enough, y'all. All right, listen, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I'll put these little things up here, squares and circles. This is my comedy special, still up there for now. Have a new one coming soon. I surely will. Also, you can subscribe to the channel, watch all these little videos and my podcasts and stuff like that. And then one that's important to me, TreyCrowder.com, that shows you tour dates. I'm a stand-up comedian by trade. If I'm coming near you, you come see me. If you like this, you like that. I'm confident it's a good time. Either way, you keep watching these, I'll keep making them. All right, I love you like chicken. See you, bye.